Hey Lex, how are you today?
Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
my name is Michael. I'm the business manager. Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, Michael.
Well, congratulations on your new purchase. I know you're
Thank
working
you.
with Brian, and he's taking care of you on the new car.
How'd you know that?
Hey, I see everything that goes on up there on the floor.
I'm glad. Yeah,
Awesome.
that's good.
Well, my job here is to go through the legality of things and work on the paperwork. So if it's okay with you, we're going to take a few minutes to personalize your experience. It might take about 5-10 minutes to go over a quick few things. Do you mind if I take a seat?
Yes, please join
Awesome.
me.
So, very nice day today, right? What I'm going to do is kind of run through the buyer's order or the proposal that you and Brian have worked on. So I have your first name. So we have Jim, Jim, Bond, Bond,
Correct.
and your address is 123 Main Street.
Yes,
Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Date of birth 6/26/1965, and you're in Anywhere, USA 12345.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. And the best phone number is 800-967-3633.
Yes.
Okay. And the car you picked out with Frank, I saw it was a 24 GLC 300,
Yeah.
white, brown interior, black wheels. Awesome. It's got those big black AMG wheels, right?
Yeah, it's really nice.
Nice. So that one is white. It's brand new. It's got 7 miles on it. We have the VIN number here. And if everything works out good today, do you plan on taking the new car home?
Yes.
Awesome. So I see you're also trading in a car. It's a 2019. It's a Mercedes-Benz GLC with 72,000 miles on it.
Correct.
Is that right? Okay. Did you put all those miles on it by yourself?
Yes, got it new. We did.
Did you buy it here?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
for the continued business.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so what I see is the MSRP price on the new GLC is 61,500, correct?
Yes.
And we have a trade allowance of 23,500, which brings you to a loan amount of 53,400 with a $1,000 deposit. Does that sound correct?
That sounds right.
Awesome. Do I need to be made aware of any additional money down that you might be interested in applying to the loan?
Not at this time. I just whatever it gets approved at, I might put a few thousand more, but I'm not sure right now.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely take that into consideration when we submit it to the banks.
All right.
Just before I leave today, circling back, what did you like about the new GLC that made you decide on it?
Well, it's the new technology. It's improved. It's all been improved upon. It's been now around a while, so I feel like all the bugs are worked out. I think the 17 was it was only the second year of that model.
Yeah.
And I was figuring I was taking a little bit of a chance there, but it worked out.
Okay.
The car still sounds and runs beautifully. Engine sounds like it's new.
Awesome.
So with that kind of good experience, I decided let's do it again.
Yeah. That's great. Was there anything like new number one new feature that you wanted to get in the new car that you had to have?
No, I like just the additional technology. I like taking advantage of. I didn't have to have it,
Yeah.
but it was time. It was time to get something new and reduce the risk of repairs on the old one.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking that I'm at that point where I think I'll maximize the trade-in value and reduce my risk of repairs down the line.
Yep. Well, I mean, my friends and my family always ask me to keep in touch and let them know if I have similar cars like your trade-in come in. Would you recommend your car for somebody else that even if you knew a friend to buy?
Everything's working on it. Everything's good on it right now. So I mean, yeah, it's not something I have to do.
Yeah.
It's just a decision that we just tried to make. We're able to do it, so that's why.
You mentioned repairs a few minutes ago. Did anything like major happen on the car?
It wasn't major, but it wasn't cheap to do, and it wasn't under warranty. The radio stopped working, and I thought we'd have to replace the radio. Turned out it was a communication sensor with the satellite, and that's what caused the radio not to work. So they had to replace that computer sensor,
Yeah.
And it turned out to be about $2,600. But that's the only thing. Everything else has been normal maintenance.
Hmm.
So.
When I saw it outside, I saw a little chip in the windshield. Did that happen to you recently? Did it happen a couple of years ago when you had it? When did you get it filled?
That happened like 6 months into it.
Really?
6 months
Okay.
into it. They did a good job with that. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Did you get it done here? Did you get it done at one of the aftermarket repair facilities?
It was a private guy who used to do it for us. He used to come here and do it for us, and I knew him, so I had him come to my house and do it.
Yeah.
I watched him do it, so I know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's like they put epoxy.
I know they scrape off that black on the side.
They
and
put a thing in there, and they drill. They've got something that'll drill the glass, and they inject it. It's like a syringe almost
Yep.
of this epoxy that they inject there, and then they leave it,
Nice.
and it solidifies really pretty quick. I think it's within an hour. It's done. It's
Yeah.
set, and it's stayed that way ever since. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Glad you haven't had any issues with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the same now. I'm hearing now that the windshields today, they don't even get to fix the stars so much.
Mm.
But
Yeah, with all the cameras and stuff behind the glass, you gotta kind of be you gotta be sensitive with those
Yeah.
things. I know the new GLC has all those safety cameras and the lane tracking right behind the glass, and so they gotta be careful. You gotta
Yeah.
make sure you're doing the right
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. Well, that's great. I see Frank has two new keys here for you. Do you have 2 keys to your trade-in?
I do. I only have one today, but I
Alright.
can bring in the second one tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, just let us know if you can't find it. It's something that we like to make note of, because once we put that car on the lot to sell it, we have to adjust it. Cause,
Yeah, I know exactly where it is.
yeah,
We
they're
keep-
pretty expensive.
Keep it in a drawer,
Yeah.
and it was misplaced once,
Mm.
and I thought I was going to have to buy one, so I know how expensive it is.
Yeah, they can be. The keys do a lot now.
Yeah.
They do a lot to the car.
Yeah, little computers.
You actually can turn on the car even with no battery in the key. You just place it in a cup holder, and you can turn it on even if it's completely dead.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's why that's a good factor of why they cost so much money.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you don't mind, it might take me about 15-20 minutes to get these things submitted to the lenders, get some additional legal paperwork completed, and then I'll come over, grab you, and we'll move on to the next step. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Give me
You
just
do.
a few minutes, and we'll get right back to it.
Sounds good.
All right, Lex. Or Jim, thank you for coming back into the office.
They call me both.
Yeah, I call you both. Now, once we're back in the office here, we're going to look at your credit application. We're going to look at the insurance ID card. We're going to go over a few items in order to make sure all the legalities are done correctly.
Okay.
So starting off on the credit application. So again, we have your last name, first name, your current address. Now I can see you've lived here for 3 years. Is that correct?
Yes.
Nice. Where'd you come from before? I don't see a previous address here.
I was from Warwick.
All right.
I'm from Warwick. I'm just trying to move to a little more rural, rustic kind of area.
Yep. Awesome. I see you pay $1,200 in a mortgage or rent each month. Does that come just directly from you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
All right. And so when your social, date of birth, home phone number. Now hopping over to employment, you're with U.S. Opportunity in Anywhere USA 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you've also been there for 3 years. Does that sound correct?
Yeah.
Okay. How'd you get into that job?
Well, I had a friend who, recommended. He recommended me to them,
Yeah.
and so they were also familiar with my friend, and with that recommendation, I started there, and
Nice.
it's been a good place for me.
It says you're in sales, and it has 6,000 monthly gross monthly income. Is that before taxes or after tax?
That is before taxes.
Okay. All right. Very nice. Cool. We have some additional credit information, but everything looks good. We'll have you sign some things in a few minutes. Make sure everything is printed out correctly and spelled. Now, Frank provided me with your insurance information, which you must have emailed them. I see you work with Sam Davis, the agent. That's their phone number. We see
Yes.
we see the new car.
That's
Nice.
right. That is it.
Do you know what your deductible is on the?
It is
GLC?
500. I've
Okay.
got it at 500 now.
How'd you come up with that deductible? What made you decide on that?
I've gone back and forth, and it didn't seem like it was that much more expensive to be at 500 versus 1,000. And I've had some repairs in the past, and they're somewhat distant past, so I'm feel comfortable with that at this time.
All right, nice. Well, did your agent also discuss any financial responsibility if the vehicle was totaled, say 6 months from now? Everything you're safe, and just the car gets totaled out from the amount of repairs that needs to be done.
No, he didn't go over that with me.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Just in case the lenders ask if we have the correct deductibles set up. And do you know if the insurance company provides any additional incentives for a theft benefit, or did they talk about that?
That
with
they
you at all?
mentioned, yes.
All right. So they asked about the
passive.
basically
They
the
wanted it to be
alarm on the car.
Yeah, the alarm it comes with, it's kind of a passive alarm system, and I believe it automatically arms when you lock it.
Yeah.
And I guess that's a standard thing now.
Yeah.
They give you a discount for that.
Cool. Well, moving on to the next section, what I see is, when you were out talking about the car, did Brian happen to bring up the manufacturer's limited warranty? Do you know what that limitation is? Did you talk about it with Frank?
Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty quick. He just said, it's just like it was before. So
Okay.
that's what we had before.
Yeah.
It was a 4-year 50, and I was conscious of that.
Yep.
That when we had it before.
Yeah. You would be correct. So you were coming out of a 2019 GLC 300. So the warranty time and mileage has not changed. So it's 4-year, 50,000 miles. People tend to say the word bumper to bumper, but it would actually be things that are peripheral to that bumper to bumper. So it's going to be items that if you look here on the page, the manufacturer has coverage for defects, which is going to be part or assembly. So it's either parts that were assembled incorrectly, good or bad parts, or we have good or bad parts that were assembled correctly. So at the manufacturer's fault, they will cover 100% of the parts and 100% of the labor in order to get that vehicle up and running again, with a $0 deductible. So I'm sure you're aware of that based off of the car that you owned previously.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the vehicle, you mentioned to me that you love the new technology. You're listening to Sirius XM and using the satellite for navigation.
Yes.
Those are items that would also be covered under the warranty for only that 4-year, 50,000 mile period. So outside of that coverage, you would just be responsible for that maintenance repair. In addition to the mechanical and technology aspects of the vehicle, Mercedes-Benz is going to provide towing and roadside assistance. The cool things about roadside assistance, which I don't know if you've ever used them before, but I have a great story. When about a year ago in my new Mercedes that I had just about a year and a half ago, I was driving kind of a rural area, and I got a complete flat. Everything was flat. I was on the side of the road, and they have a little SOS button in all the new Mercedes, which I'm sure you've seen when you look up. If you press that button, they got to me in about 30 to 45 minutes, and they were able to
that's great.
able to repair the wheel. But even if they weren't able to repair the tire, they would tow it for free to the closest Mercedes-Benz dealer. And that goes for gas as well. If you run out of gas, those things happen when you're late to work or late to an event. They'll get you enough gas to get to the nearest gas station. They won't fill the tank, of course, but they'll get you to the closest rest stop to fill it up. One thing the manufacturer's warranty won't cover is alternate transportation. So say you're out a couple states away, and the closest Mercedes-Benz dealer is hours away, and they can only get you to a mechanical shop within 30 minutes. That shop most likely won't have any alternate transportation that they're going to pay for. But here at Mercedes-Benz of Warwick, if you're local, we would love to maintain your service business. We provide loaner vehicles, we provide a shuttle, we provide even an Uber if you have to go somewhere. But we will help you out on that end here at Mercedes. I can't promise that for any other stores. Again, I don't know what their policy is. Some stores, I hear nightmares that they just don't provide loaner cars, and it becomes troublesome to get the car service. So just keep that in mind. So we have also, in addition to those covered aspects, the tires. I know you're buying that AMG wheel on the 24 GLC.
Yes.
So Pirelli actually makes those tires, and the manufacturer, which would be Pirelli, they have a specific warranty for, say, tread mishaps, the wheel or the tire doesn't fit correctly with the wheel. Those things are covered directly from the
It's
manufacturer.
like a defect in the tire.
Yeah, defect for 12 months or 12,000 miles per year.
Okay.
Alternatively to that, say you're driving down the road and you do get a flat, you hit a pothole, you curb a wheel, you get a nail in the tire, which is very common here in Rhode Island. We do have some very bad roads, which you might be aware of. That would not be included in that that warranty.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. So that would be kind of your responsibility in addition to in talking about these items. We also have scheduled maintenance, which I'm sure you're aware from your previous ownership that it's every year 10,000 miles that Mercedes-Benz requires service to be completed on their vehicles. I know you were, I don't know if we talked about it, but you have about 72,000 miles on the car, and that's over the course of about 5 years. So I mean, you're about that 12,000 miles per year. So you must be due for maintenance a little before a year. So that is something I would keep in mind too. So you're going to be due just a little bit before that year of ownership. Then we have rust and corrosion warranty, which is something I like to touch on because many people like to bring up in New England we have a lot of salt on the ground due to the snow. Stuff like that is not going to be covered under warranty. Outside influence, which is salt that eats away kind of at the exterior frame and paint on the car, is not going to be covered. Alternative to that, the manufacturer does have a warranty to rust and corrosion from the inside out.
I got you.
Yeah. So say the vehicle wasn't dried correctly when it's getting painted, stuff like that's going to be covered. That's an overview of the little aspects we have in the warranty. A second ago we mentioned that you do have a 2019 with 72,000 miles on it. That means that you're driving a little bit more than 10,000 miles a year, and you've had the vehicle for 7 years. If you notice what we talked about up at the top is you have 4 years or 50,000 miles of coverage, which is going to put you about this line, and you had about 72,000 miles of coverage. If you keep up with that same kind of term of ownership, you're going to have this void that is going to be your liability over the course of the ownership. We just make sure you understand that. If you could please put a signature there for me, I would appreciate it.
I will do it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Now here's the fun part. This is where I can personalize your ownership experience, which is very fun to me. I like to tailor everything to each individual customer and make it exciting for them.
Oh, that's nice. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So if we notice at the top, you have the option to take the vehicle home today, the 2024 GLC, for a 72-month finance at $823. That would be your base payment. Does that sound correct?
Yes.
Okay. Below, we just have a couple options. Would be our first one, which is the preferred plan. We have our vehicle service contract, which is also known as a VSC. This is going to be an extended manufacturer service agreement, which would cover you for mechanical failure when the vehicle does have issues occur to it, up to 72 months or 85,000 miles. So the items that we just discussed on that manufacturer's limited warranty would be that coverage period after your 4-year 50 does expire. This warranty is great. I know you were saying you take the vehicle and you do drive a good amount per year out of state. If you tend to go far away from Mercedes-Benz dealership, this is also going to cover you at maybe your local shop that does have trained technicians. So that is a very, very popular option that's going to add about $46 to your monthly payment. The next option we have is gap insurance. Are you familiar with what gap insurance provides?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am.
So gap insurance, just to touch base on what it does cover before we move on. Gap insurance, when you buy this car, you are putting $1,000 down, which brings us to the loan amount of about $64,000 over 72 months. God forbid, I mean, a year or two from now, you're in the car, you're okay, but the vehicle is totaled, and the insurance company claims it to be totaled. You do have a fiscal responsibility from the number that the insurance company pays you out for that vehicle, which is also known as the ACV, the actual cash value. There's a difference between the actual cash value and what you owe on the loan. So that is called a gap. That gap is what you would be responsible for, which can be pretty large. It can be a few $1,000s, and sometimes we don't have that money to pay off a loan to get into a new car. So this coverage would eat away at that gap, and only for the small amount of about $15 per month.
Okay.
The next item we have is scheduled maintenance. We mentioned just a few seconds ago that the maintenance on the vehicle is every year 10,000 miles, correct?
Yeah.
And you can complete that at any Mercedes-Benz dealership. Here at Mercedes-Benz of Warwick, we actually pick up the car, we'll leave you a loaner, we'll bring it back.
That's nice.
So those are the items that scheduled maintenance would actually, or prepaid maintenance would actually help with. So our labor rate here is about $189 an hour. With economy changes constantly, things may increase. This would protect you from the increases of our hourly rate in service. It's also just an ease of use, so you pay for the service and you have no service bill when you come to Mercedes-Benz of Warwick. You have no service bill until, say, your fourth service if we go with a 3-year scheduled maintenance.
I got you.
In addition, we have a road hazard protection program, which is tire and wheel. Tire and wheel is probably our most popular option. In Rhode Island, in general, in New England, the roads can be pretty rough. We have holes everywhere. We have potholes. If you curb a wheel, if you get a nail in the wheel, if you get a flat, the manufacturer, the program. So when we discuss, Mercedes-Benz does not cover, or the tire manufacturer does not cover for those damages. So this program allows for unlimited claims, no deductibles, over the course of 60 months, which would be, you can do it any amount of times that happens. You get a flat, you can get the tire and the wheel replaced. In addition, we have our windshield protection program, which is going to protect the customer for chips and cracks in the windshield due to road debris. So any kind of road rock chips that are thrown up on the road, that would be covered for 60 months. And then we have our environmental protection program, which is 60 months of basically a ceramic coating on the vehicle. So this would protect you from acid rain, bird droppings, environmental damage, along with staining and ripping of the leather inside the car. So at the bottom, you'll notice that your payment would be adjusted to $642.59 for our preferred plan. Do you have any questions on that?
No, I think I pretty much understand what you've gone over so far.
Yeah. Cool. In addition, we have the value plan, which, if you notice, it is going to include the VSA, the gap, the scheduled maintenance, the tire and wheel, and the windshield protection program. But you would be forfeiting and declining the ceramic coating on the vehicle, which would hinder the protection on the paint, the leather. You would be without the ceramic coating on the car, which can be pretty valuable. In addition, you have the basic warranty. The basic program, which is going to include the VSA, the gap, the scheduled maintenance, and the the road hazard protection program. And you would be declining the windshield protection and the ceramic coating. And then we have the economy, which is going to include the VSC, the gap, and the scheduled maintenance, which would then decline and forfeit the roadside, the windshield, and the ceramic coating. What option do you think would best help myself personalize the ownership experience to make you have the best experience?
Well, I like a number of these options, but at the same time, I haven't had a payment for the last 2 or 3 years, so it was kind of a stretch for me to do it again and start with a payment, and I'm kind of like trying to budget and keep that budget where it's at. So I think at this point, I'd like to keep it where it is and just go with the basic.
Okay.
I
appreciate that.
Not the basic. I mean, go with what.
Yeah, you'd like to stick with your 823 for the 72 months?
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So now moving forward, would you, our payments are usually collected in 45 days. You'll receive in about 2 weeks some memos from the bank and the lender in your mail or your email to set up payments. Would you prefer that to be auto pay, or do you want to pay it manually every month by check or
Probably
online?
going to make a payment every month, send a check in.
Awesome, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a great idea. Well, I'll get that set up here. Now, Lex, when I'm going back and thinking about what we talked about before, I'm surprised that you declined the extended warranty, just due to the miles that you do on the car and where you're driving. you know, it would make sense to add that extended warranty, which would get you that coverage. For example, you had that screen blackout on you, and you had to pay for that $3,000 repair.
That's right.
I would say that it would be a good add-on to have. The manufacturer is actually, the 4-year, 50,000 mile warranty is quite a sweet spot for them. So they do that because after that 4-year, 50,000 miles, they put all that risk back onto the customer. So
Right.
they have a lot of analytics that go behind it, and they do know what they're doing, setting it at 4-year 50. That Lex, the consumer, after 4-year 50,000 miles, is going to have to pay when things break.
Yeah.
Now going over that, would you be interested in adding that extended service contract to the vehicle?
Well, you know, I thought about it, and it has happened to me.
Yeah.
I could have gotten that warranty at the end. I know I can get it later, right? And I didn't do it, so I wish I had. So you know what? I think I will do it now.
Awesome. That sounds great. So with the vehicle service contract, you'd be adding $46.29 to the payment of $823. So we're looking about $869 on the customized payment, and we'll get that set up, and we'll get it going.
Okay. That sounds good.
Now on this last form, we just have the accept and decline form, which is just going to show you which coverages that we did accept and which ones we declined. So all of the warranties and all of the preferred plans that we went over, we did accept the vehicle service contract, and we have declined the gap coverage, the ceramic coating, the key replacement, the prepaid maintenance, the tire and wheel, and the windshield protection program. Does that sound correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And did you have any interest in adding one of these programs? I mean, thinking about it, you are only putting $1,000 down on the loan, Lex. So a product that stands out to me is going to be the gap. When I know you mentioned to me that your insurance company did not go over the gap coverage with you, but many people don't realize that the insurance company actually can be a little bit more expensive than what the dealership has to offer for about $15.36 per month. In addition, on that insurance policy, you would end up having to take $1,000 or $500 deductible in your case on your policy if the vehicle was totaled, and then you would have to take another $500 deductible on the gap policy if you had that open with your insurance, rather than just doing it through our program here. Do you have any interest in adding the gap program to your monthly payment?
At what monthly would it be?
So we would only be adding about $15.36 to the monthly payment.
That seems reasonable to me.
I would
Yes.
agree. If you break
Yeah.
down the insurance
Yeah.
cost with a $500 deductible and the $500 you have to come up with for gap divided by 72 months, in addition to what the gap already
It's
cost you,
cost
the
you for
insurance
that.
company, it would
Yeah.
be much easier to go through the dealership.
All right.
Does that sound about right?
That does make sense to me. All right.
Well, that sounds great.
We can do that.
Well, congratulations on your purchase. I'll accept one signature here, and then we'll get all the documents finalized, and we'll head home.
All right. You got it.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.